Hey y'all. Hey everybody. I am trying to not knock my I have the craziest setup here, y'all. You wouldn't even believe how crazy this is. We'll just be lucky if the whole thing doesn't go flying. I've stacked my iPad up so it's a little different angle and I could do the Kilroy thing. Kilroy was here. Okay, those who don't know me are going, what the heck is that girl up to? Hey y'all, I am Arwen of Tarot by Arwen, and I am here to talk about tarot journals. Why? I put a question up on my business page on Facebook and asked people to tell me what they wanted me to talk about. And one of the people, Queen of Chalices is here. Awesome. One of the people that responded to me said they'd like to hear more about tarot journals. So I wanted to share with you how I do them. I actually have 2 tarot journals, four really. But my main one is this little book, and it's leather bound. It was made by somebody in Colorado called Divine Rights. I feel like I've talked about this. If I have, I'm sorry. I'll go more into the bigger tarot journal next. The way I set my tarot journal up is at first, I wrote my name in it. I'm a big believer in breaking that first page. Psychologically, we stare at a blank page and go, you just get kind of stopped. Get a pen out, get a crayon, get something and write Arwen's Tarot Journal. You may not want to write Arwen's Tarot Journal because then I'm going to have a lot more tarot journals that I don't even know about. How about my name here, Tarot Journal? Thanks for the hearts, guys, and thanks for the sharing. And then what I did was I just kind of dedicated the first 2 pages for my own little handmade table of contents. And I really probably should have left another page. The first thing is I started out with just an essay on the Fool. For me, that's kind of where I needed to start. You'll start where you want to. And for me, what I do is I wrote a little bit about some of the different things I saw in the Fool deck. And I ended with, you never know what fork to take in life, because the moment you choose one, everything else changes to fit that step you just took. Even by standing still, you are affecting the eddies of life around you. And that kind of encapsulates my vision on the Fool. Then I started with writing down different tarot spreads I did. I did one in 2004, What Do I Need to Know? And then I wrote back and left... I put down blah, 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 and then I put down a 2005 note and said what I had done after this reading. So it was kind of a recap to go back and look at it. I wrote down spreads I liked. Hey, 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 nice to see you. Like the Great Bear spread. And I found that at thedreamingeye.com. And it goes over... I don't know if you can see this or not. These are the stars within the Great Bear spread, and that's what the spread itself is. Hey, Tarot Talon. And then I kept going through, and I write down, I had something on the Coven spread, and that was something that was important to me. Just a basic, what do I expect for today? And I would write down what oracle or what tarot deck I used. I'm trying to look at here. Here's one of my very first spreads I designed called Mirror Mirror. And that's nice, dear, but this isn't that kind of scope. And I'm not that kind of girl. So this is about, and there's a very simple spread called Yin Yang spread. Yin represents the inner feminine cold. It's in the Chinese symbology, or the blah, 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 it can be a cold energy. And then Yang, of course, represents outer masculine. It's hot. And this is just, what do I need to balance today? And so that's your yin-yang spread. Very simple, very basic. I have a lot from Eclectic Tarot. One of my favorite places to go and share spreads and get spreads. So right now, we have, it's about 136 pages in this thing. I have a tarot activity book. Awesome, Water Ox here, Water Ox. Tarot activity book by Andy Matzinger. Andy Matzinger is a therapist who uses tarot, and he uses it in a playful way. It's a really fun book. I think you can still easily get your hands on it. Let's look at the other book, and that's my other tarot journal. It's a little bigger, and it's a little tastier, apparently, to the dog, because they've eaten it there, they've chewed it up here. They're lucky they're cute. So what I have in this tarot journal is, again, I wrote my name. And even attempted a little art. Wow, Arwen, that's pretty awesome. A pink tulip. Again, a table of contents that I'm working on. And in this book, I don't know if you can see the edges, all the darkness in the edges. That's because I have gone through and put in different cards from a deck. This is the Frank Fradella Adventure Tarot. It's one of my very favorite tarot decks. And this Chariot, is he not scrumptious? One of my favorite chariots. And I did this because this particular deck had gotten too worn out from all the readings I did with it. The Fradella Adventure deck used to be my primary reading deck for my clients, and I've been reading professionally. I've been reading since 1981, professionally since 1985. So I'm in my 30th year professionally and almost my 35th year of reading and studying tarot. But what I wanted to do with this book was, one of the things I did for me, it's slow going, but I wrote, the Fool's Journey is very important to me. And so I wrote a question, a lesson. The magician, the Fool's lesson of the magician: do you have the will to create your own reality? Let's flip through and see. The Fool's lesson from the High Priestess: what you seek, you must find within yourself. And that goes back to a piece of Wiccan liturgy. It's probably one of the very few pieces you could truly call a liturgy in terms of many Wiccans use this in their rituals, and that's the Charge of the Goddess. I won't bore you by reading it all. And then here's my Empress page, and it is Venus, keyword fertility. The Fool's lesson: fertility is about abundance. Can you create abundance? And one more sexual question and you get blocked, baby. So try me. I've got a Scorpio moon and I'm not going to put up with it. Okay? Okay. So when you're doing a tarot journal, you want to do what's going to make sense to you, right? You want to put in what is going to be important to you. Are you a Kabbalist? Do you want to know what the Hebrew symbology means on a different card? You know, what deck are you working with? That's going to be very important, because are you working with the Thoth system? That is a very different system from the Rider-Waite. I'm a Rider-Waite person. I like the Rider-Waite-Smith system. It's what I first began working with. Now, true story, the very first reading I ever had was with the Thoth deck. The woman that showed me the deck, she and I are still very good friends today. And she actually gifted me with a Thoth deck. And y'all, I didn't connect with it. And I found out later it's because it's a dark deck. And when I say dark, I mean the images are dark. The color is muted and dull. And I really, well, look at these cards, right? Look at that. Bright, comic bookish, very uplifting and bright. They're colorful. And I find that I deal better with colorful decks. I'm looking for my current reading deck, which is the Gaian Tarot. And you can see again, very bright. Ah, the Gardener. That's the Empress in this deck, and she is truly, truly a beauty. This deck is sadly out of print. Yeah, hearts for her. Joanna Powell Colbert did this deck. Joanna teaches online. If you head to GaianSoul.com, if somebody can type that in for me, I'd really appreciate it. It's GaianSoul.com. And she does online e-courses. She's got one coming up. It's $19, y'all. It's so easy. It's not even, I mean, what's that? 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks? Product placement. But Joanna gives you an e-course. I think it's a 6-week e-course, and it goes over how to connect to nature, how to... Missing an A in that, Lee, but thank you very much. So it's GAIAN. There we go. Beautiful, guys. Thank you so much, Lee and Queen of Chalices. I really appreciate that. But go and check out her courses because they are really, really awesome. I've taken them. They're self-paced. You don't have to show your work to the class, anything like that. But what questions do y'all have about tarot journals, or what input do you have? Who out there has a tarot journal? I love this part of scoping. Waiting. No. No, I don't. I don't. That's a really good question. I actually have a Rider-Waite, just the real basic images that you always see. And I'm going to put Rider-Waite cards in this journal for comparison. So I'll have, right here where I have the 3 of staves, I'll have the typical ace of, or 3 of wands from the Rider-Waite and do some comparison that way. I may redo this tarot journal because I'm not really happy with how it's all laid out. So if I do that, I'm going to have to cut the cards out and, you know, just redo it. Because I like the idea of putting up the traditional, that Frank Fradella Adventure deck, because it's a very different deck. Again, out of print. I own several copies because I'm one of those that, oh God, what if this deck gets ruined? So I get 2 or 3 of a deck if I really love it. And thanks for the hearts, babies. I love it. So, you know, but the idea of doing a journal for each deck, in terms of this, I think that'd be really expensive because you'd need to get a deck for reading and then a deck for pasting in the book. And the only reason that deck is pasted in the book is because some of the cards were so flimsy they were tearing. And at that point I retired that deck because it's kind of makes me cranky to have a card tear when I'm using it in the reading. I don't know, y'all may be different. Let me grab a drink of water really quick. My mug of happiness. Seek joy, y'all. Oh, I do too, Imogen. I do too. I actually design them and put them up on Zazzle.com. And they get, every now and then people pick them up, which makes me happy. I love that that message is getting out there. I want the whole world to say, seek joy, y'all. Just everybody. My friend who's in London named Chloe McCracken of Inner Whispers Tarot, she is also teaching Lenormand out that way. And she did a little video for me in her very proper British accent that says, seek joy, y'all. And I just adore it. I had this vision of putting together a video. Oh, good. Good. I love Chloe. Love her. Her Lenormand workshop, wow. And her Celtic Lenormand, double wow. So I'm working on a Lenormand deck with Lisa Hunt, who does a lot of tarot decks, Celtic Dragon, Fairy Tale, Shapeshifter, Animals Divine. I know I'm a Ghost and Spirits, but, and the Winged Enchantment Oracle. I just did a video review on YouTube. If you look up Arwen61 on YouTube, you can find all my videos there. But yeah, Lisa and I are working on the Fairy Tale Lenormand, and it's got her classic art with the faces hidden here and there. She posted up on her Facebook page, Lisa Hunt Art, which is a public page. Everybody can join, and you can go see the new stuff showing up. She just posted the picture of the child, and it's going to be Gretel from the Hansel and Gretel fairy tale. And we've gone all over the world. We've researched all kind of crazy different fairy tales. We want to make it diverse. So it's been a lot of fun. And it is under contract with U.S. Games, so we're pretty proud of that. But, oh good, me too. Are you familiar with Carl Jung and his work with fairy tales? One of his students, Maria von Franz, I think is her name, but she did a Pookie Boo Bear. What a cute name. But she did a book on the psychological aspects of tarot. I don't own it. I want it someday. But I am doing a lot of reviews over on YouTube. I think in the past 3 days I've uploaded 4 or 5 videos, so I'm on a roll. But let's get back to tarot journals. Any other people out there who have a tarot journal or have questions about tarot journals? Imogen has a tarot journal. How long have you had your tarot journal? And what's the most important thing about it for you? I shouldn't make funny faces at myself. Bahati, if you're still here, do you have a tarot journal? What about you, Queen of Chalices? I'll call out the tarot people I see in the room. That I could remember her in the room. I was going to tap, but I think if I tap, it turns my screen around, and that's kind of embarrassing because then y'all see nothing but dark because I have it leaned up against the tablet holder. 3-ring binder, very, very smart. How long have you been working on it? Oh, and Imogen too is a... Okay, y'all are making me think I'm going to have to do a 3-ring binder now. Great! I do too. Like this one's been, I don't even know if I put a date in it when I started it, but I started it eons ago. It's so long ago that I had a Blogspot blog, and I don't have that anymore. So that's been a very long time. I'm trying to see if I have any. It has to have been back in the 90s. I mean, it has to have been that long ago. So yeah, I probably will move to a 3-ring binder. Do y'all use like where you can slide sheets in or just put sheets in? I don't have sections in. Right now my sections are basically the cards themselves. I've got all 78 cards in. And on some of them I've written like Queen of Blades, the Queen of Swords. I have Gemini, artistic, graceful, vengeful woman. So, and Virgo is the Queen of Disc. And I did this where I put the all the kings are together rather than by suit. And I did that with all of these. I did like all of the 7s are together, all of the 6s are together, so I can look at the numbers and the suits in a group. Yeah, it works for me. It works for me. Queen of Chalices, I think I know you, but what is your name? What name should I call you? I know Soul Sincerity is Imogen. Y'all should follow those people. Imogen, Soul Sincerity, good stuff. Nicole, thank you. I'll remember it one day. But, my recall as I get older is, not working so well. And if you do dog training, yeah, my recall's bad. So you'll understand why that's a joke. But I like the idea of the 3-ring binder. I also have, where is it? This is a, I did a workshop. I do workshops quite often. And yeah, this is class 2. It has my little breakdown of exactly what I'm doing for everything. This is when I did a 4-week class here in Austin, and this is one of my handouts. And this it gives you, you have the Trump name, the esoteric title, and this is, oops, that's the wrong page, y'all. Y'all are looking at me like I have lost my mind. The Trump, the esoteric title. And then I can't see, what does that say? The path. And the path means the tree of life path. And what it connects to and what it connects with. I am not a tree of life specialist. I would like to be. I've used a tree of life tarot spread. It's difficult for me because it's, I'm directionally dysfunctional. If you've heard of dyslexia, that's having trouble with letters and words. I have what's called dyscalculia. And dyscalculia affects a different part of the brain, and it's a spatial and number thing and directional thing. My friends will tell you, never ask Arwen for directions. If you want to know how to get to Dallas from Austin, I'll probably end you up in Mexico. And for Dallas is east of here, and Mexico is south of here. So don't ask me for directions, I will get you lost. And then I have a thing that shows you the trumps, their keywords, their numerology, their rune, the job as I see it. And then ED. Does anybody know what ED is on this page? Do you have this? Whoops. Shout out if you think you know what ED is. I'll tell you in a minute. And then my other, let me see. Yeah, and the other one is actually a copy. Elemental something, very good. It's elemental dignities. And this is a system that some people work with who don't do reversals. And I don't do reversals, and I don't do elemental dignities either. Y'all may have heard me speak yesterday about intuitive tarot, and that's how I do my tarot. But elemental dignities are you take 3 cards. I can do 3. I told you I was numerically challenged, but 3, and the middle card and these 2 cards, like if that's a water and that's an air and that's a fire, fire and air work together so it weakens the water in the middle. It's a very interesting idea, and I'm trying to think who. There is a wonderful, wonderful website online that does elemental dignities, and I cannot remember the guy's name. It's not Robert Place. It's a 3 name. It's one of the... Beats me, y'all. Just beats me. So, any other questions about journaling, or anybody want to start a journal? Anybody revved up to get going on their journal now? Nobody? I have failed. So I know some of you showed up because you thought maybe Arwen will do some free readings. Got bad news for you. I'm going to do free readings today. So, rules are, you have to tell me your name and your sign. I'm going to ask that if you've had a reading from me in the past 2 to 3 days, hold off and let's see if other people want a reading first. That way I can do more, because I'm only going to do about 3 or 4 today. I'm got to get back and do some more YouTube stuff. I'm going to do a longer YouTube on tarot journaling, maybe a little later, now that I've got some ideas about 3-ring binders. You girls are bad influence. But go ahead and tell me your name and your birth sign. And I always ask one question, and that's, what does the universe need you to know? Yeah, Nicole, you're laughing at me now. You're on my list. And it doesn't matter if you're a reader. If you would like a card pulled for you, I'm happy to do that. Rose, Scorpio. So we'll ask, and if other people put in after Rose, I kind of close my eyes. Somebody keep track for me, please, please. So what does the universe need Rose to know right now? I always tag it with right now because I'm more interested in what's happening here, anchored now, than future dreaming. What does Rose need to know right now? What does the universe want Rose to know? Okay, Rose. Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. Rose, what's going on? You got the tower showing up. That's lightning. Now, before you run screaming into the night, is that Rose I hear? The tower is, somebody once said this, and I don't remember who, but they said the tower is built on lies we tell ourselves. So, if something's happening in your world right now where something's coming down all around your ears, feels like it's completely unraveling, not to worry. It's good in the end. What happens is, and this is like the flash of brilliant insight, that's your aha moment, or oh shit moment. Really depends on how you look at it, right? But this card has the meaning of brilliant insight, but also somebody yanks the rug out from under you, and sometimes you yank the rug out from under yourself. True story, I gave my mother a pair of slippers. Mom's been dead for, gosh, almost 13 years now. But I gave her a pair of slippers for Christmas one year, and they were black and white cows. And I thought they were hysterical, and so did she. Until she called me one day and asked me why I was trying to kill her. Mom, what? Are you on drugs, lady? And she told me that she had gone outside to get the newspaper and that one of the cats had darted out past her. And she had grabbed that black and white cat by its tail and yanked it up. Y'all, it wasn't the cat. She had seen her own feet and reached down and grabbed her own foot, yanked it up out of the air, and knocked her butt on the ground. True story. True story. So, yeah. So, are you yanking yourself off the ground? Are you grabbing your own slipper thinking it's something else? So check your reactions. There you go. So check your reactions and maybe back off a little bit, and you can manage your own tower moment. Rose, I hope that helped you. Thank you so much. Who's the next person? Well, thank you, baby. I appreciate that. Right. Nicole is so right. The Queen of Chalices, you knock it down, start all over. It's clear ground. You got to do some work, move some stuff out of the way, but once you do it, and once you get it in your head that you're in charge of rebuilding, the card after the tower in the Major Arcana journey is the Star. It's hope. It's your new goal. It's your new focus. So you can mourn your tower, or you can look at your star. Choice is up to you. Next person who'd like a reading? Did somebody else say they wanted one? Because I missed it if you did. So put your name and your birth sign back in the channel for me. Y'all think I could give free readings away a little easier. I promise I don't bite hard. Speaking of towers, I've got 3 tarot boxes, my tablet stand, an iPad case held down by a book. This thing is unpredictable. Oh, y'all, come on. Nobody else wants a free reading? Thank you, Nicole. Thought I was going to have to reach out there and yank somebody up by the head. Hey, get a reading. Wow, that Arwen, she's really an aggressive reader. So what does the universe need Nicole to know right now? And Nicole, I'm going to tell you right before I even pull a card, I'm getting a real strong message that you need to go ahead and launch what you're thinking about launching, and go ahead and make that big leap you're making into a business. Feels like you've got a business prospect or a business you want to get bigger. Okay, okay, because that's like bing, 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 bing in my head. Well, launch it, baby, and skyrocket it. You know, rocket fuel, and do not underestimate your brilliance. So let's look at the cards, and let me stop just pulling stuff out of the air. What does the universe need Nicole to know right now? Okay. Well, Miss Nicole, you and I both know that the Eight of Water is all about putting past crap behind you. So, those teachers in your life who told you that you had to do this, 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 and this before you could be a professional, and those parents and guardians and adult figures in your life who said, well, you must wear panties and pantyhose, whoopsie, wearing panties, you know, okay, we're not going to go and get into that, but wear pantyhose and heels in order to make it in the world? No, you don't. So trust yourself. Virgo's very practical, right? Virgo is one of the down and dirty signs. Y'all don't mind getting into emotional stuff. You don't mind digging into your own emotional refuse pile, but you also understand the value of compost. So I think that some old tapes in your head with this Eight of Water showing up need to be turned into compost. And by that I mean you need to put them aside. And here's a secret, y'all. When somebody says you need to put something aside, don't treat it like a paper cut, you know? Ow, that hurts. Ow, that hurts. Ow, that hurts. Well, stop touching it! So, Nicole, launch, but clip, 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 clip those old tapes, that old baggage, all those people in your life who ever said, you know, whoever played into Virgo's self-effacing, I'm not good enough, I know what I'm doing, but Virgo's, one of y'all's drawbacks is your critical thinking, because sometimes you turn that critical on yourself, right? Right. So, Rose, yeah, and wow, Eight of Water and a Tower card in one day. You got big things coming, lady, big things. So, Nicole, does that help? But I get a sense that you've got something you haven't launched yet, something you're holding back on, because I haven't done all the steps to launch. I haven't done T minus 3 weeks, T minus 2 weeks. Launch. Let it out there. You know, pre-launch, soft launch, yada, yada, yada. Just do it. So if there's one more person, and you can be anybody, if you yeah, sometimes you need that. Well, good. You're a beautiful woman, so get your face out there. People will come to you simply because you're beautiful, and they want to hear what you have to say. So let your inner beauty out, because you already got the outer beauty, baby. So one more person, and it could be anybody. If you've had a reading yesterday, I'll do another card for you. Thank you for the heart, sweetie. Heart. Somebody I watched said they felt like they were in a fish tank, and I can see why. I'm a little goofy. Okay, I'm a lot goofy. For those of you that like astrology, I'll tell you that I am a Pisces sun, a Scorpio moon, and Aquarius rising. I like to tell people, oh, thank you. I like to tell people that I am a flaky, emotional bitch. Because flaky, that's your Aquarius. Squirrel. I'm going to take that apart. Don't talk to me, I'm busy. Pisces, I love you, man. I love you. I love you. And Scorpio, look, I'm going to tell you just like it is. Okay, those are really narrow views of each sign, but that's how I do it. And when I do astrology for my clients, basically all I'm doing is what I call the mask, the first three. Sun is how you see yourself. rising is how other people see you. When I tell people I'm a Pisces and they're very familiar with astrology, they're like, you're kind of a weird Pisces. I know, I have Aquarius rising. Quirky. Some people tell me I'm talkative. I don't see that. I think I'm very quiet. I can hear y'all laughing. You know that, right? And the Scorpio moon. So I want to know your sun, your rising, and your moon sign if I can. It gives me a thumbnail of you. You know, thumbnail like when you look at a picture on the internet and it looks interesting, so you click it to make it bigger. Those are your thumbnail pictures. Anybody else want a one-card reading? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Okay, now everybody's ran away because they're like, oh my gosh, what is she doing with those eye things? Not one person? Okay, fine. I'm going to see what the universe wants me to know right now then. How's that? What does the universe want me to know right this moment? Probably shut up, Arwen. Okay, and I get, oh, cool. The Ace of Earth, that's a business start. That's a start of growth of money, of prosperity, of abundance. It's a community card, and I dearly love this Ace of Earth. Is it not the prettiest little ace you've ever seen? With that baby fawn, that uncurling fern right here, the big solid tree. This has so much message going on. Fawns are born and up and walking. How fast? So a lot of growth, which makes sense. I'm moving next week. So, oh, and my Periscopes are going to be spotty next week. Last half of the week, like Thursday, probably through Labor Day. Not sure I'll be on or not. So, but catch me on YouTube, Arwen61, if you want to see some of my video reviews. I'd love it if you subscribe to me and share it with your friends. Blah, blah. That's my marketing. So, thanks, y'all. And as always, remember, seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.